Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's Echo Stretch. In this video we're going to go over McCaulay's update regarding the PS2 emulation on the PS4 as well as the PS5. He did release two saves, one for the PS4 and one for the PS5. At this time the only thing that they do is kind of like a proof of concept. When you load up the save or you actually get into the save, it'll say hello PS4 for the PS4, and for the PS5 it'll say hello PS5. But we're going to jump right into it here. You can go ahead and check out his Twitter. I will leave a link in the description, but it does have a brief description here of how to actually copy everything over. I went ahead and just created the save files for everybody just to download. Makes things a lot easier, and it might be easier for you to follow along. So if you jump over to my Twitter, I will leave a link in the description for both the PS4 and the PS5. But you go ahead and download whichever one that you're going to be using. We're going to be using the PS4 currently now. And the question I get asked a lot is, will it work on the latest firmware? Yes, it will. You will have to buy the game though. If you're on a jailbreakable console, that is fine. As long as it's activated with the user ID, then you should be fine. You just have to resign the save and it will load up. But if you don't have a jailbreakable console, you will need to actually buy the game. It's only a PSN game, so it's not on disc. Later on down the road, disc games may come, but currently stay where you are. If you're on a lower firmware, don't go ahead and update just to buy the game. Wait it out. I think once everything gets released, we'll have developers that will actually make it work with other games. So I went ahead and downloaded the PS4 here. So we'll go ahead and minimize this here. I have it right here. If you just go ahead and open up the file, you will see a PS4 folder. Now it does have save data, and it does have the both versions, the US version as well as the European version. Now if you're not sure which version that you have, the best thing to do is jump over to Orbis's patches. Should have it open here, but go ahead and just type in OCage. You can see the US version is 2199, and then the European version is 2282. Now if you're going ahead with the jailbreak console, Goal 10 will pop up with the covers, and you'll be able to see exactly which version you have. So let's go ahead and minimize that. We'll go ahead and open up our File Explorer, and we'll open up our USB drive, and it's just a matter of just dragging it over. Let's go ahead and just drag that over. Now I am copying both over. You don't need to go ahead and copy both. Doesn't really matter. I know which version is on my PS4, and we'll be able to go from there. Okay, so once it is copied over, we can go ahead and close that out. Okay, so we're going to need our user ID. So if we go ahead and insert our USB into our PS4, and we go into our application save data and system storage, copy the USB device. We'll have a list of saves here. Doesn't really matter which save you copy over. They'll all work the same. So if you go ahead and just select the small one, doesn't really matter. Go ahead and select it and copy it over. Shouldn't take very long. I did select a 3 megabyte save. Okay, so on our PS5, we'll go over to Settings. Go down to Save Data. Go ahead and select the PS4, and we'll go over to Console Storage. Do the same thing we did on the PS4. Just go ahead and select the smallest save. I have VR World. It's only 10 megabytes. We can go ahead and copy that over. And it shouldn't take very long to start the process of copying over, but once it's done, then we should be able to get our user ID. Okay, so we'll go into our PS4 folder, save data, and you can see that we do have our user ID here, as well as the Echo Stretch folder with the two saves that we need. So there's two ways we can go ahead and resign the saves. The first is Save Wizard. Now Save Wizard does cost $50. You can go ahead and get it online for $49.99. That's US dollars. I do recommend, if you have a second person in the house, maybe you can go splits on it. It does have the option to get two profiles for an extra $10, which is well worth it compared to the one profile for $50. Now when I went and got mine, which is a while back now, I ended up getting 3 profiles. They no longer do that, but certainly it is definitely worth it. You can use it for a lot of other things. If you're into max money and stuff like that, then it'll definitely work out, and it's definitely worth it. So we'll go ahead and minimize that for now. We'll open up Save Wizard now, and we'll go into Settings here, and right down the bottom it has Profile Manager. So you can see that I already have 3 profiles set up. When you originally buy it, you can go ahead and enter it. If I was to change the profile now, I just right-click, delete, and then it would give me the option to add a new one in. But I already have it all set up. So with the USB plugged in and the USB selected, G drive, if we go ahead and just select the Resign, and we'll go ahead and select Import, and we'll go to our desktop, and we have it right here. The PS4, we're going to be using the PS4 version right now. So we have the US, which is the 2199, and the European, which is 2282. So we go ahead and just hit the arrow over, and then we go ahead and select the save, and we can choose Import. Hit OK. Select the profile. As you can see, we can go ahead and select whichever profile we want. Go ahead and hit Apply, and give it a few minutes. What it does is it uploads to the server, it gets switched over, and then downloads again and goes on to the USB for you. Sometimes it can take a little bit of time depending on how big it is, but these here ones shouldn't take very long. There we go, and it's downloading the save, and we should get a message that tells us that it's done. Resigning successful. Hit OK. So if we go over here now and we go into our user ID, you can see that we do have the save now, and it is resigned to us. Now the other method is using Apollo tool, so we'll go ahead and jump over to the PS4 for that. Okay, so now that we're over to the PS4, I've already went ahead and loaded up Gold 10. But after that, we'll just go into the web activator. Now lots of hosts use it, so you can go ahead and choose whichever host you usually use, and use that web activator. They are all the same. You will get prompted with a memory error. That's normal. Just go ahead and hit OK, and give it a few seconds here. It can take up to 30 seconds just to load up everything, but once it does load in, we should be able to set our user ID in there and go ahead and activate the account. Now this here one, I already have it activated. As you can see, my user ID is in there. But you would simply just go ahead and click on it. They should be all zeros there. You're just going to go ahead and backspace them all out, and then go ahead and insert your user ID. Don't worry about capital letters. It will automatically do that for you. Then once you do have it done, just go ahead and hit R2, and then you would hit set and activate. Now in order for everything to work, if it does come up with a message successfully activated, you will need to do a reboot on the PS4 for everything to take effect. But once you do have it done, we can go ahead and go on to the next step. Now if you went ahead and used Save Wizard, you're just going to go ahead and reverse the process. You go into Settings, Application Save Data and System Storage, and then Copy to System Storage. You would go ahead and select your game and copy it over. Same with the PS5. You would just go ahead, jump in there, copy over your save file, and then you're good to load up. But we're going to go ahead and jump into the Apollo tool. So we'll go ahead and launch it. Give it a few moments here to load everything. So our 9.00 save patch is applied. Okay, so in our second option here, which is USB saves, we'll go ahead and select it. Now I do have the USB plugged in, and as you can see, both saves come up. If we go ahead and hit the PlayStation button right here, we jump over to OK. You can see that I am running version 02282. You could be running the US version. This is the European version, but just choose whichever one that you are using. So we'll go ahead and select the 2282. Go ahead and select it. And we're just going to go ahead and hit copy save game to hard drive and hit X on it. It will prompt us with a message to re-sign it. We'll say yes to it. And then once it's done, we're good to go from there. So we'll go ahead and close that out now. Okay, so at this here stage, if you did want to bring it over to your PS5, if you don't have Save Wizard, you're using your jailbreakable console to create the file, you'd simply just go ahead and jump over to your settings, application save data on system storage, copy to USB storage, and then go into the game, select it, and then hit copy, and would copy it over to the USB drive. Currently, there's no big difference between the PS4 version and the PS5, just besides the Hello PS4 and Hello PS5. So when it does come out with the full save, and we do get that emulator working, I believe that both saves will be exactly the same. So it shouldn't really matter. You can go ahead and re-sign it with your PS4 and then bring it over to your PS5. If you do need someone to re-sign the file, leave a comment down below. Someone might get back to you and they might be able to just do it for you, so that way you'll have it done. But yeah, we'll go ahead and jump into our OCage tool now, or OCage game. Go ahead and launch it. Take a few moments here just to load, but we should get a message to restore the game, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, and there's our screen there. The next screen should be press start to enter. There we go. So the start button is just the big space bar. I'm not sure exactly what the touchpad, I think that's what it's called. Go ahead and hit that. And then from restore game, we'll just go ahead and hit X. And there we go, guys. So you can see at the very top, McCaulay's Twitter's there as well. So we do have that full long name that he was talking about before. I don't know if you were following his tweets there, but as you can see down below in number 2 slot, it says Hello PS4, and this would be the exact same thing over on the PS5. It'll say Hello PS5. So this is basically just an early start of it, guys. I'm looking forward to seeing the full save file, and when it does get released, I will make the saves if they're not already done. But yeah, I hope you did enjoy the video, and if you did, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.